Hey guys, it's Christina the caregiver and a woman on a caregiver recovery journey. Guess what time it is? It's time for us to choose another self-care card and modify it for our caregiver journey or our caregiver recovery journey. All right. I've heard you guys are liking some of these suggestions and some of the ways we're modifying. You know what? In the comments, tell me how you would modify some of these as well. So let's see what our card for today is. Our card for today is write a gratitude list. Write a gratitude list. I love this one. I love this one because I'll tell you what, before caregiving, I could easily write a gratitude list because I was able to, go out and buy a house and buy a car and go on vacation and, have a six-figure job and all of these great things before, I started my caregiving journey. It was easy to be grateful for all that stuff. There wasn't constantly an emergency. There wasn't a life and death situation all the time, right? When we're on our caregiving journey, there are times where we are either going into an emergency, coming out of an emergency, recovering from an emergency, or like smack dab in the middle of an emergency. And many times our emergencies are, if they aren't life or death, they could turn life or death at any minute. And so writing a gratitude list when our life is constantly in that can be tough. So sometimes, first of all, we don't have access to a journal. One of the things I did for me is I kept a caregiver on the go bag with me anytime I went for hospital visits, and a journal was in there. I also kept a journal on my phone. It doesn't even need to be writing. Sometimes when it seems like the world is just going to crap, it seems like everything is just overwhelming. Just taking a minute to say, I'm grateful that it's not raining. I'm grateful that I have a car to drive. I'm grateful that, mom is alive today, or I'm grateful that we have food on the table, or I'm grateful that the nurse was nice. Three things, say in your head, three things that are facts right now, because they can bring you back to today. Because many times when we're in that fear, we're either thinking about not that moment, we're thinking about what's going to happen soon in the future, or thinking about what happened previously or yesterday, right? And so take a minute to think about three things you're grateful for. And that can be, you're in the ER, it's chaos. And that can be, you look over and you see, one of the nurses has a great smile, and you think, she looks nice. You know what I mean? Or the doctor comes in and they're actually a doctor who is somebody who's going to communicate with you and have you as part of the team and listen to you. That's something to be grateful for. You person you're caring for getting a good night's sleep, you getting a couple hours of sleep. I remember one of the weirdest things I was grateful for was this church down the street from my mom. I lived like 7 minutes from my mom when I was caring for her, and there was a church down the street that I would go to sometimes before I was going to care for her or after. And I would go there and I would sit in that parking lot and have my caregiver breakdowns. I never attended a service at that church, but over that 10-year period that I cared for my mom, I probably cried in that church parking lot 100 times. So I was grateful for the crying church. So just take a minute to be grateful for that. You don't necessarily have to write it down. That's in our caregiver journey. It helps us for a minute breathe. It helps us for a minute to breathe, right? On our caregiver recovery journey, we can be very lost. Things can be very dark because we're dealing with a lot of grief. We're dealing with coming out of fight or flight mode. We're dealing with learning how to sleep again. We're dealing with, our body has been like this, like tight for like so long because we've been so stressed. And then once that adrenaline kind of calms down and it releases, some of the health things that have been going on with us that we've ignored come to the surface too. So that can be very stressful. So we want to take a minute to definitely think about, what are we grateful for today, at this moment, right? Because again, on our caregiver recovery journey and any journey you're on, a lot of times when we're stuck in fear or sadness or depression, we're thinking about tomorrow or we're thinking about yesterday. What are 3 things right now today? What are you grateful for? Is it the sun that's shining? Is it the bed you're laying in? Is it the phone you're looking at this on? Is it the fact that, you woke up today? Is it the little doggy or the little kitty that's sitting next to you? Whatever it is, drop it in the comments. If you can't take time to write a gratitude list, then just say it in your head. Just think about it. And if you can't find anything, look around the room that you're in. Look around the room that you're in and find 3 things right here, right now. All right, that is our way to modify the gratitude lists on your caregiver journey or your caregiver recovery journey for today. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe on my YouTube channel. And drop it in the comments what your 3 things you're grateful for. And make sure to join me on the choosing of the next self-care card that we modify for our caregiver and caregiver recovery journey.